this is Heather here, and now we're willing to talk about when the moon is no longer in void and we are in the sign of Cancer. Okay? This deals with emotional aspects, the true feminine, mothers, daughters, childbirth, pregnancy, emotional aspects, magnetism, sympathy, things like that kind of pull on your heartstrings. Maybe love spells. The moon is very strong during this time period. There are certain goddesses that people might align themselves with. One of them might be Venus or Aphrodite. And I was so lucky to get a hold of some candles at TJ Maxx that are copper candles. And that invokes kind of the positive aspect. If you don't have something as fancy as copper candles, which I never thought I would come across, how about using just plain copper pennies, okay? So it doesn't have to be a really expensive or something very, very extravagant or something that costs a lot of money or anything of that nature. But you can use pennies, okay, if you are attracting energies to you. Honey is another fine staple to use in attraction spells or things of that nature that want to, when you want to attract something to yourself. Okay? Pink candles that smell divine. Wonderful. Okay? Red as well. Lust, that kind of thing. Pink is great for liking and that sort. You can use rose water. I suggest taking a bath with rose water in it. You can buy these things at vitamin shops. Maybe go ahead and purging, if you're in the waning moon, go ahead and purge the negative energies about yourself, the things that you don't love within yourself. Maybe a limpieza, which is an egg clean, okay? And then you might throw an egg at the tree. You ask the tree if it's okay, okay? And then you leave a gift for the tree after, okay? Make it very clear. Then also, let's see, we've got some different ones. Lavender, very good. Mint, to move the process of the energy of it maybe a little faster. And it also attracts angels. You want to make sure you have your guardians and, your protective energies. Protection is another thing in which to do. It's wonderful in which, if you decide to go ahead and do protection energies for you, your loved ones, and your family. While you're doing stuff for yourself, because there's a person, because you are a person who subscribes to do something for yourself, which I really admire, that you're taking action and initiative to take control and charge of your life. And that's wonderful. But while you're at it, make certain that you do something for humanity. Make sure that you make certain that the earth, you make a prayer for the earth, okay? That it's rich and that it grows crops for children that have famine, and that these grandmothers are eating, and these children with altered mental status are being nurtured and taken care of. And then you make sure that the air is clean, and you say these prayers for them as well. You go ahead and you pray for clean water. Some of the things that we might take for granted. Make sure you do a prayer for yourself in every which direction. And then also do a prayer for your loved ones, for your mothers, for your daughters, for your grandchildren. These are the things that mean a lot. But if you are ever going to do a love spell or an attraction spell or a spell to maybe, help a marriage along, or if you're dealing with fidelity issues or anything of that nature, you want to make sure that you take care of number one first, and that's about dealing with how you love yourself. You cannot make someone else love you if you don't love yourself, okay? And it's very important that you balance that with ethics and whether or not it's appropriate or not, okay? So we don't want to bend someone's will, that kind of thing. It's okay to go out to the bar and do an attraction spell, and you just want to have a good night, and you decide to, maybe put 2 candles out, and decide to wear a certain lipstick or something that activates, maybe an attraction spell with some candles and ylang ylang. That's a different story. You're just going out for the night to feel like you're the only woman dancing in the room. That's one thing. That's harmless. But if this is ever to harm someone or to break up something or cause disharmony, that's not necessarily the way. You have to do everything with love, light, and goodness, and it comes right back to you. So I hope this is helpful. I always keep in my secret stash, a rose quartz on me. It's always good. Mirrors are wonderful during this time. I suggest, because it's a water sign, that you take a bath that invites love and also purifies. Now, if you're in the waning moon, I suggest it be a cleansing that goes ahead, and that's when the moon is going smaller. If it's in the waning moon, and in particularly on a Friday, which is the day of love, and other things, that you go ahead and you take a bath and let that energy cleanse away from you. Now, if you're in the waxing moon and you happen to be in the sign in Cancer, out of void, then what I suggest then is you bring love to you for yourself, that you start appreciating yourself. You get up, you brush your hair, you get your clothes together, you take a better idea with yourself. And if you may not be good at that kind of thing, then you can ask, you can pray to your angels for help. If that's not what you subscribe to, you can pray to Aphrodite or Venus or Lakshmi, or some of the goddesses that invoke beauty. There's so many, of every different parthenon. Honey is another good thing. Maybe you need to sweeten your husband to you, or you need to be a little bit more sweet to your children, or you to your mother, and vice versa. What is done to A happens to B. So make certain that it's something that you wouldn't mind someone doing to you, okay? That's always a good tip if you're not certain whether or not it's an ethical practice or not, okay? Divination. The moon is very, very strong, and when she's strong, she has a pull on you. And it's a good time to learn it if you don't know it. I also suggest a dream journal. While you're dreaming, there are things that will be magnetized to you. And one of the things that you need to attract to you is love, light, and goodness. So practice some meditation. Always practice some positive energies. Maybe dress in pinks and reds and colors that are attractive. Black is wonderful for protection, and that's also something that you should exhibit. And so maybe crystal grids, maybe sealing some windows with oil and salt, whatever it may be. Blessing and protecting your children, doing prayers and mantras to guard, guide, and protect them. Okay? And I also suggest using Ganesha as well. First, in instances where you may need to remove obstacles that have been blocking you from receiving the love that you truly deserve. Or you can pray to, Guinevere or whomever for true love. But while you're doing this, make certain that you start with number 1 first, and then you can work outside. And if so, make certain you're doing it when it's ethical. Otherwise, it's never worth it. I hope this has been helpful. If you'd like a reading, or if you want something else done, please email me and we'll talk about it. Thanks so much, and have a great night. Alrighty then.